Good morning, students. Today in this video, we are going to see human nervous system. All around the world, there are millions of living organisms from simple bacteria to complex human beings. We human beings are the supreme mammals and are highly complicated, highly specific, precious and are well developed. We the human beings differ from other animals in our ability to think and to take actions, which is due to the well developed nervous system. Coming to this human nervous system, the human nervous system is differentiated into three. So the one is central nervous system. Human nervous system is differentiated into three. The first one is central nervous system. Central nervous system. The second one, peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. And the last one, autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system. So first, coming to the central nervous system. The central nervous system, it is formed of brain and spinal cord. The central nervous system is formed of brain and spinal cord. So this brain and spinal cord, it is the center for information processing and control. So central nervous system, it is formed of brain and spinal cord, and they are the center for information processing and control. The peripheral nervous system. This peripheral nervous system, it is formed of cranial nerves. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves. The peripheral nervous system is formed of cranial nerves and spinal nerves. The cranial nerves, it arises from brain. Okay, the cranial nerves, it arises from brain. And the spinal nerves, they arise from spinal cord. And the last one, autonomic nervous system. So this autonomic nervous system, it is formed of two types of nerves, namely sympathetic and parasympathetic. So autonomic nervous system, it is formed of sympathetic nerves and parasympathetic nerves. Now look at this diagram. So this is the brain and this is spinal cord. So brain and spinal cord together forms the central nervous system. Brain and spinal cord forms the central nervous system. Now from the brain there arise nerves. So from the brain there arise nerves called cranial nerves. So this is called said to be cranial nerves. The nerves which arise from the brain is said to be cranial nerves. Now from the spinal cord also there arise nerves. From the spinal cord there arise nerves. They are said to be spinal nerves. Spinal nerves. Now this cranial nerves and spinal nerves, they together form the peripheral nervous system. They together form the peripheral nervous system. So cranial nerves, they are the nerves which are arising from brain. Spinal nerves, they are the nerves which are arising from spinal cord. It is said to be peripheral nervous system. Now some of the cranial nerves and some of the spinal nerves regulate the functions of visceral organs. So visceral organs. So what do you mean by visceral organ? They are nothing but internal organs. So what are the visceral organs present in our body? Yes, they are heart, lungs, liver, then kidney, digestive system, eyes, reproductive system, etc. They are the visceral organs. So now these visceral organs, they are said to be the autonomic nervous system. So some of the cranial nerves and some of the spinal nerves, they regulate the functions of visceral organs and they are said to be autonomic nervous system. And they are said to be involuntary in nature. So involuntary. So what do you mean by involuntary? Involuntary means the action which is not under our control. So here, can we stop the function of our heart? No, isn't it? So that is coming under involuntary. Or can we stop the function of our kidney? No, we can't. So that's also coming under involuntary. First we can discuss central nervous system. So central nervous system, it is formed of brain and spinal cord. So central nervous system, it is formed of brain and spinal cord. Now this brain and spinal cord, they are the delicate and important structures. So delicate means soft. And now this brain and spinal cord, they are protected by a bony box. They are protected by a bony box. Now this brain, it is protected by skull. And spinal cord, it is protected by vertebral column. So see, this brain and spinal cord, they are the delicate structures and they are protected by a bony box. So see, the brain, it is covered or it is protected by skull, and the spinal cord, it is protected by vertebral column. And now it's formed of two types of matters based on the presence or absence of myelin sheath. So already we have come across. So what are the two types of matters? They are white matter and gray matter. So white matter means what? Yes, if the neurons are covered with myelin sheath. If the neurons are covered with myelin sheath, they are said to be white matter. And gray matter, if the neurons are not covered with myelin sheath, they are said to be gray matter. The brain is the controlling center of all the activities. And this brain, it is covered by three protective membranes or three layers are three connective tissues called meninges. So what do you mean by meninges? The brain is covered by three protective sheath, or it is covered by three connective tissue, that is said to be meninges. And the first one is outer dura mater. Outer dura mater. So the dura mater, it's the outermost covering. Dura means tough. Tough or hard. Matter means membrane. So this dura mater, it's the outermost layer and it is formed of fibrous, that's like network. So dura mater, it's a tough membrane, tough outermost membrane. And the second one is middle arachnoid membrane. Middle arachnoid membrane. Middle arachnoid membrane, or we can say it as middle arachnoid matter, because matter means what? Membrane. So the second one is middle arachnoid membrane. And here this arachnoid means spider-like. So arachnoid means spider, that is a web, it is forming web-like cushion. Okay, so arachnoid means spider web-like cushion. So it's the, what's the second middle part? The middle part is the arachnoid membrane. It is thin and vascular membrane. It's thin and vascular membrane. And the third one is inner pia mater. Inner pia mater. So here pia means soft or tender or delicate. So inner pia mater, pia means soft, tender or delicate. So matter means membrane. So pia mater is the innermost layer of the brain, and here it is soft, delicate or tender and is richly supplied with blood vessels. So this pia mater, it is richly supplied with blood vessels. So coming to this meninges means what? It is the brain, it is covered with three connective tissue, that is said to be meninges. And the outermost layer is dura mater, the middle arachnoid membrane and the inner pia mater. Meningeal membrane protect the brain from mechanical injury. I hope you all might have understood. Study this meninges as homework.